Hello YouTube, this is the Bucket coming at you today with the Ruger SP101 in 357 Magnum. I picked this gun up on a trade. I am not a huge fan of double action, primarily because I'm not particularly good at shooting double action. But that is no reason to quit on guns, so I went ahead and I picked this up. Now, as you know from watching my channel, I'm a big fan of Ruger. I had done a video on the Colt King Cobra, which was in 38 Special, and I was very excited for my opportunity to shoot a 357 Magnum. And this firearm is, classic Ruger quality through and through. I want to give you a little bit of background on Rugers and what their history is on revolvers. So Ruger was famous for high quality 22s. They did a very, very good job of it. The 1022, the Mark series, they're just amazing. And they wanted to get in the revolver market, and they came out with the Ruger Security 6, followed up shortly by the Service 6, and then, of course, the Speed 6. And they did very, very well. And what made the Ruger special was they ended up having a solid frame design, unlike Smith & Wesson and unlike Colt, which gave them a solid, rugged frame that made them extremely durable and extremely long-lasting. And they did very, very well. Sold a lot to the U.S. Government, became very popular for security, for their sidearms. Just a very, very good firearm, and it did Ruger very, very well for lots and lots and lots of years. And they decided in the 80s that they wanted to update their revolver line, and they came out with a GP 100 in 1985, and it was just a revamped idea of what the Ruger revolver could be. It came in multiple calibers: 357 Magnum, 44 Special, 22 long rifle, 327 mag, 10 millimeter and 9 millimeter, and they range in barrels from 2.5 inch all the way up to a 6-inch barrel. And they usually had a squared back, and it was really designed for a service or home defense firearm. And they did very, very well with it. It's a very high quality, great firearm. But as time went on and personal protection market just kept exploding, they decided that they wanted to produce a firearm that was really designed a little bit more for that personal protection, maybe conceal and carry market, and that's where this SP101 came in. Still a metal firearm, which would soak up a lot of that recoil of a big 357 Magnum round, but curved handles, able to conceal a little bit more, and their barrel sizes are a little bit smaller. They really range from 2.25 inches to 4.2 inches, and you're primarily going to have a 5-shot cylinder, which is kind of for that time period, that was kind of an ideal firearm for conceal and carry personal protection. They ended up coming out with the LCR series, which was very, very popular for them. More polymer frames. They ended up, usually they were hammerless, although they have come up with the LCR X, which now does have a hammer. But those guns were so small with a very, very, very small barrel. I mean, the primary size for an LCR barrel is 1.87 inches. And, when you're reducing that much size, reducing that much weight, when you get to that 357, it becomes a handful to handle for sure. So we're going to focus on this one today. This is a stainless steel model. That's usually how you're going to see this particular firearm. If you see, this one has Hogue grips. They traditionally have a grip like this, which is a good grip, but the original owner liked the Hogue a little bit better, and I like it as well. I'm not necessarily a huge Hogue grip fan. It does have a shrouded extractor, which makes that good and protective, so when you need to go out and do a change, you can be sure that that's going to be nice and straight. What's kind of interesting about this firearm, if you look at it, it does rotate counterclockwise, which is a little bit different than a Smith or a Colt. Also, when it comes to the cylinder release, Smiths you push in, Colts you push back, and these you push straight through, and that's how you go ahead and you release that cylinder. This is a great firearm. It is classic looking. It just has a trough sight with a traditional front post sight. The handling's great. The weight is awesome. The double action trigger is what you would expect for a double action trigger. Long, no stacking, good solid pressure all the way through, crisp break. The single action is just, butter. It's just exactly what you would want a single action to be. It is a double single action, which gives you some options. I know that a lot of people, unfortunately, when they're training with these firearms, will only fire it in single action, which in a self-defense situation, you're going to probably be firing from double action. And that's really the purpose of a revolver, is that this is a very, very safe firearm. And so you need to make sure that you're practicing with that double action trigger pull. It's a natural pointer when you get used to how you hold a revolver. If you're used to a semi-automatic, that is going to take a little bit of getting used to for sure. I'm excited to get out to the Ghost Whisperer's Ranch and give this puppy a little test run and see how she does. I'll shoot some 38 Special through it. I'll shoot some 357 Magnum through it and see if the bucket can get this double action trigger on point. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for being patient with me, and as it's taken me a little bit of time to get out my this most recent video. And you stay classy, YouTube.
Little middle baby bucket, do you want to live in California?
No!
Why?
Because I'm not a communist.